Sussex maintained their unbeaten record in this season's LV County Championship thanks to a fantastic career-best innings from Luke Wright, who batted for 6.5 hours to help his side draw at Lords and prevent Middlesex from stealing their place at the top of the championship table. Beginning the day on 228 for 4 in their second innings, still 49 runs from making Middlesex bat for a second time, Sussex started the final morning just as they wanted, with their overnight batsmen Ed Joyce and Wright doing well enough. Wright, who resumed his innings on 48, was soon to his second half century of the match. A single took him there off his 93rd delivery, an innings including 5 fours, but it was the time he'd used up not only in this knock but also in the first innings when he made 77 in 3 hours of crease occupation, which was the most important thing. Middlesex really needed early wickets to relax them a little, and they came close. James Harris nipped one back to strike the pads of Wright, while Joyce on 82 was put down by Neil Dexter, a tough chance in the slips off Ollie Rayner, which came half an hour into this crucial day. Joyce also got away with this big appeal for leg before from Toby Rowland-Jones, as the home side just couldn't quite do enough to get the all-important breakthrough. The batsmen both knew that scoring runs would use up more time in this game, giving Middlesex more to chase later should Sussex be bowled out. These two did manage to get their side into the lead with 4 wickets down, and as we moved into the second hour of the day, the draw was looking the most likely result. But then, either side of lunch, Middlesex once more put themselves into a great position with the second new ball. Joyce was out in the 90s yet again, this time with an edge to Rayner off Tim Murtagh, the fielder doing a great job to claim the catch just off the ground. Half an hour later, Ben Brown stopped his shot halfway through and spooned a catch to Adam London off a wide ball from Harris. And then, straight after lunch, Chris Jordan nicked Murtagh behind to leave with a total on 304 for 7, giving Sussex a lead of only 27. It was the pairing of Wright and new man Will Beer which held up Middlesex in the first innings. There they added 88 runs in 40 overs together, and they now needed something similar to give themselves any chance of getting out of North London with a draw and with their place at the top of the table in place. Beer played his role perfectly, while Wright neared the 10th first-class 100 of his career with an edge which flew a fraction wide of third slip. Wright had an outstanding match, but as he did complete a quite brilliant 100 off his 179th delivery with his 12th boundary, he knew that the job was nowhere near being completed yet. For now, though, he could just take in all the plaudits for an excellent innings, his first 4-day ton since July 2011, and one which had seen the batsman curb his natural attacking instincts as the situation demanded. With that out of the way, it was back to getting heads down again and trying to score the runs when and where they could to develop the growing lead further. Over after over passed by, and still Middlesex couldn't break through on a Lord's pitch which resembled many a test match won over the years. It's not been uncommon for batting to become easier as each day passes by, and there certainly didn't appear to be much help for any of the home attack. That's to take nothing away from these two batsmen, who both went to the best scores of their careers as they batted out 25 more overs together, this time in adding a crucial 101 runs. Beer, who was only included in this match as a late replacement for the injured Monty Panesar, made 39 in 102 balls, a superb effort. Then he was finally dismissed as Rayner had him held at leg slip by Gareth Berg. Now on 405 for 8 and leading by 128 just before tea, Sussex still had to keep going, and Wright did just that by passing 150 for the first time in his career. You can easily run out of superlatives to describe an innings which by now had been going on for 226 deliveries, and it included 19 fours. It was by no means a sluggish knock either, which really helped his side. Rayner thought he had Wright plumb in front into the final session, but when this was given not out, Middlesex's hopes of winning had just about evaporated. The wonderful Wright could now afford to relax a bit and pick off yet more boundaries. He was soon moving towards a double 100, and what a way that would have been for him to finish off this match. His tally of boundaries moved on to 25 as he got himself to 187. He then came down the wicket to Joe Denley, only to see the ball turn past his bat for John Simpson to complete the stumping. After 96 overs at the crease, Wright was finally out just 13 short of a deserved double ton. Steve McGoffin, who'd stuck it out with Wright for an hour, then pulled Denley to Murta, as Sussex were dismissed after 137 overs for 454, which left Middlesex just 20 overs to get 178 to win. With all the fielders back, they initially gave it a go. Why not, after all? Chris Rogers and Denley opened up to try to turn the tables back on their opponents. They quickly put on 24 in the first 3 overs to just give their side the slimmest of chances. But 3 wickets in 4 overs put pay to their chase. Denley threw the kitchen sink at a ball from Chris Liddle and nicked off. Dexter was also caught behind, although only Brown knows how. This was the latest of a number of sensational takes from him. Finally, Berg was yorked by Liddle to go LBW at 50 for 3 from 8 overs, and immediately Rogers called off the chase, deciding instead that a draw was the best his side could manage after 4 days of quality cricket between 2 very good championship sides. It was the second match in a row that Sussex had battled really hard for the draw, and they, like their opponents here, remain unbeaten. On this evidence, both will be tough sides to defeat. The good news for Middlesex was that they claimed 10 points to Sussex's 5, enough for them to overtake Yorkshire into second place in the table and reduce Sussex's lead to only 5 points. It's certainly tight at the top.